I'm here. Hurry up.
Alright then, sit.
Oh, man.
You made it through that most difficult of stages. Good for you. I praise the fight in you. Before we continue, I want to make sure of one thing. I want to know what is inside you. If it's the truth within you, then your future will be blessed.
This is the second question to freedom. Do you wish for a peaceful life?
Do you wish for a peaceful life? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to be truly honest with you, and I'm going to say yes.
I see. I understand. I will answer a question of yours, too. You were covered in desire, in temptation, which cast you down here. Lies, deceit, betrayal. Oh, it's terrible. This is a place where sinners are tried. Haven't you heard of it? This judgment will have a positive impact on the future of humanity.
So, this is about the good of mankind? Wow, that's so beautiful. It makes me want to cry. But why is it just men?
This city is filled with traitors. I ordered him to bring the lowest of the low, like you, here.
Hey, don't call me that. Even if it might be true. That means you're behind all this. Show me your face.
You'll never see his face, not in 1,000 years. Besides, isn't knowing his name enough?
That's enough talk. Let's move on. I wish you the best of luck.
I don't need your wishes. I'm not gonna lose.
So we're making our way to the third stage of the... what is this called? It's not the cathedral, it's the... Well, before that, let's take a look at this. I didn't actually get to go offline for this, so I'm actually online. So it's just showing the user's first time data, and it's pretty concise that everyone said yes, they want to live a peaceful life the first time they answered this. When you're offline, it shows you male and female, the discrepancies between the two of them. When you're online, it only shows you the data for the first time, which is, you know, both of these are pretty interesting to take a look at. But the Imperial, that's what it's called. We're in the third stage.
Forked cliff. There is no one way to climb this wall. Trust your instincts.
Blocks. I'm gonna climb the shit out of you.
Commencing Area 3. Are you ready?
So I'll be totally honest with you, this is in post commentary just because I've done this level so many times, and I was unable to do it first of all in live commentary. Then I was also unable to do it in post. I did it once, like I recorded, you know, no commentary, and I managed to do it, but I wasn't recording while I was doing it. I was just trying to like go over the level so that when I did it in commentary it'd be fine. Then I couldn't ever replicate that again. I'll also be honest with you, this time around I consulted a walkthrough, kind of. I don't know if you want to count it as a walkthrough, but I looked up a video online, basically, and it I saw how this person went through the level, and I didn't imitate it exactly, but you'll see me do a couple of things that I saw from that video, just for the, you know, sake of transparency. But previously, we went over how I talked over... Who was the last time? We talked over, well, let's go do a total recap. We're almost pretty much done with this series, finally. We had our first girlfriend, Princess Zelda. Then after that, we broke up. Had a choice between Princess Sakura and Princess Lucina. From there, we decided to go with Princess Lucina, but pretty much just as quickly broke up with her. And then started going down the road with Princess Sakura, which ended up pretty poorly, unfortunately. After that, I was just in a sort of weird state, so I sort of had this thing with a friend of mine's cousin, I think. Yeah, that didn't go too well, because she kind of wanted to be in a relationship, but I didn't really feel like doing any of that given what had happened with Sakura. kind of wanted to, not saying that I wanted to just mess around, I just didn't want anything serious given, you know, the bullshit that I had just gone through. Attempting to get something serious. And I just didn't know her. But I'm just trying to justify myself not being an asshole. Then after that, I went full asshole, and I went out with Princess Lucina's friend. Totally flubbed that up. Took her to prom, ended up making out with her because I thought things felt right. I thought it would have been okay. But she kind of wanted more of that, and I was like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And I was like, no, actually, no, let's not do that. And she was like, all right, well, fuck you. But actually, I guess before that, we were also involved with another girl, Princess Ashley, who was a younger high school girl that I was really into because she was sort of a change of pace. She was very sort of happy and excitable. She was very exciting, and she also was very open to doing things. I like that characteristic in people. She was very open to like trying new things and whatnot. It was never like sort of like, oh, let's not do that. It was always like, yeah, sure, let's give it a shot. Sometimes too much, but ended up breaking my leg for this girl, more or less, and then ended up turning her down, kind of. I don't know if turning down counts exactly, but I ended up turning her down just because of the fact that I wasn't too keen on the fact that she was also interested in a lot of other people as well as being interested in me. And then, you know, that didn't happen. She ended up going out with some other guy, and then I also was kind of hung up on her, which is one of the main reasons it didn't work out with Cena's friend, aside from the fact of me being dumb and piece of shit. And here I accidentally died because I accidentally fell down. I think I do die one more time after this, but aside from that, this was actually a pretty clean run. I don't think I'm gonna end up editing anything out, because I did do this pretty well. Even though, you know, you can see here I started here from the checkpoint. But anyways, so immediately after that, I think almost immediately after all of that, I was in what I've developed as like the best years of my life. It was I've called it a lot of things, but there was one that was more sort of correct. I've called it like my golden years, but there's no, it was just a really good period of time, right? And it just, everyone was getting along, we were meeting a bunch of new people, we're all going out, you know, we're all starting to become adults, or not even so much being adults, we're starting to be teenagers. No, not teenagers, young adults is the correct term. We've been doing that, so, you know, we're doing all the going out, the drinking, the house parties, all that shit. That was a really fun time. It was like actual college, basically. You know, the kind of college you see on TV. That's what I was finally starting to experience, and I was like, wow, this is fucking dope. But soon after that, this was all with Princess Ashley. This was when it was all happening. After Princess Ashley, or during, I guess, kind of, there was this friend of mine from an old school that I used to go to. I believe it was, what, elementary school or something like that. And I had been friends with her, I believe, on Facebook, and then I started talking to her just because I was like, fuck it. And then we just kind of hit it off, like, in terms of, like, getting to know each other again, and we're kind of like, oh, yeah, this would work. Let's, you know, meet up and whatnot. And that kind of sucked. Died there kind of foolishly. But then we ended up meeting up a couple of times, or maybe, well, no, I think that was the first time, actually. But what mainly conspired was that my main priority in getting to know this girl wasn't for me to, you know, have anything with this girl. I was actually trying to hook her up with one of my friends who was kind of, you know, mainly a douchebag for most of his life, and he was kind of lonely, and he kind of needed someone, so I was like, sure. And he had shown some interest in her, so I was like, alright, maybe this can work out. I'd be like, I can play matchmaker for once, I don't have to be the center of attention, I can, you know, be a wingman. So then we ended up going to the movies. I don't even remember what we saw, but we went to the movies as a big group, and we saw a movie, and that was the first time we, like, me and this friend actually saw each other again. We hadn't seen each other since, like, we were like 8 or like, you know, to 10 or like 9 or something like that, really a long time ago. So that was fun. But then immediately after that, like, my friend, I introduced them, you know, everyone was fine except the friend that I was actually trying to hook up with this girl. This was also the same friend with Princess Zelda, who was right next to me when we were making out. That guy. So, says a lot about him right there. But he did not like it. Immediately, he was just like, nope, I changed my mind. I know I said I was interested before, but I am totally not. And I was like, well, this is dumb. But then soon after that, actually, like, those things happened simultaneously. That happened, and then Lone Sword Hero was kind of like, you know, just kind of digging her. I was like, all right, so I guess this wasn't a loss. So, you know, we can make this happen. You know, Lone Sword Hero hadn't had a girlfriend in a while. So I figured, yeah, you can use the girl. This would be great. You know, she's cool and everything would be great. Things were not great. So we spent a good amount of time just, you know, talking, hanging out, doing these things. I was trying to make an effort to get to know her better so that I can, you know, push her towards my friend. This was horrible doing in my part, I guess, because instead it ended up pushing her towards me. And it wasn't until, like, some time that I kind of noticed, and I was kind of like, wait a minute. We're totally flirting with each other, aren't we? Ah, shit. And I was kind of like in this really weird, awkward position where I was like, oh, what the fuck do I do now? I remember specifically there was this one time where we went out somewhere, or they had gone out somewhere. And then I had gone to school, so I was in the area. Like, I had gone to college for something. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I guess I'll go say hi to you guys real quickly since I'm, you know, in the area. And then I ended up staying with them on their quote-unquote date and taking her home along with him, just because, like, she wouldn't let me leave, which was kind of sad. And I was kind of like, no, you guys are like, let me get the fuck out of here so you guys can go back to doing your thing. And she's like, no, just stay. And then he was kind of like, sure, stay. Like, I guess you can help me, I guess. And I was like, yeah, I'll try. But then that didn't go anywhere. So we got to the point where one day we were at the beach, and, like, she was really, like, on to me. And then, like, the same friend, the first friend, the one, you know, the bed and making out and thinking, like, oh no, I don't want her. That guy was just coercing her into sort of making moves on me. Because, like, you know, you like him, do it. Meanwhile, the entire time I'm just trying to, like, avoid her because I knew Lone Sword Hero was gonna be on his way. So I was like, I don't want this to happen. So stop, please, don't do this. Don't do this. Let's talk about this later, but not now. I'm trying to just chill and not make this awkward. After that, there was this one point where it just happened. We ended up making out in the water, specifically as soon as Lone Sword Hero walks in. Like, I had done a great job. She had made a move before that, and I, like, avoided her. But then immediately, as soon as Lone Sword Hero showed up on the beach, we ended up making out. Boom goes the dynamite, and I was kind of like, yeah. I mean, credit to him for not, like, being upset about it, at least not, you know, visually or, like, taking it out on me or anything like that.
Come, climb up.
It just kind of happened, and I mean, he wasn't, like, extremely invested in her. He wasn't, like, you know, buying her flowers, or, like, he hadn't confessed her love to her. Like, you know, it wasn't horrible.
You still haven't died? You really have quite the luck. But Lady Luck can't help you now. It's the real goodbye next time. Now prepare to die.
And, yeah, I, for whatever reason, thought that one, you know, we made out that one day. I was like, oh, well, I guess now we're just boyfriend girlfriend. And I remember I never actually asked her. I just, I'm gonna call her Princess Paulina. I, just sent her a Facebook relationship request. And then she was like, yeah, sure. And then we just ended up going out, and I was kind of like, oh, well, all right, now we're together. And it was just the most, like, impromptu everything. Like, man. And then a lot of things happen with this relationship, quite honestly. And I will say Princess Paulina was the one that actually took my innocence. She took my virginity. We banged for the first time. I was 19. That's when it happened. And it was awkward for a couple of reasons. One, my leg was sort of fucked up still at the time because, you know, I ripped it up because of Princess Ashley. So I wasn't exactly mobile, so that was kind of awkward in general. But we had gotten to the process of, you know, making out, whipping down each other's clothes. We were watching, what was it? Monsters Inc., because I never watched that. So we were in my room watching Monsters Inc., while my friend and her friend were in the other room making out. And then once we were, like, you know, completely naked and about to, like, you know, engage in the intercourse, someone rang the doorbell. And I remember that the friend at the time, he was so like frightened that he just like came in his pants at that time. So I had to put on all my fucking clothes, go answer the door. I don't remember who it was, but it wasn't anything important. So I was like, alright, fuck you, goodbye. And then I go back, and I was just like, shit. So upset. Go back inside. We restart the movie, start the entire process all over again. Strip down our clothes, and we finally got to do it eventually. So that's another reason why it was really awkward. Aside from the fact that, it was my first time. But then, things were, fine with that relationship. They just, I guess, given the circumstances and the fact that I wasn't all in, because I'm an idiot and an asshole, we eventually ended up breaking up. And the main reason why we ended up breaking up is something that I'll go into next episode. But there was really no rhyme or reason to it, and it was one of the few relationships where things were fine. There was no real drama or like issue. It wasn't like Sakura who's fucking around with me. It wasn't like Lucina where I was just a dumbass and there was like these stupid little things I couldn't get over. It wasn't like Lucina's friend where I was thinking about some other girl and like just being an idiot in general. It wasn't like Zelda where things went down the worst way and like we had this whole steady decline of like garbage. No, it was just things were fine, and then like it just kind of stopped because of something I'll get into next time, because it'll play a big part into that episode's theme. But yeah, that was when curly-haired hero lost his innocence. Never thought I'd actually get to say that. Never thought I'd actually make it to this point. Because this game is so accursed. Because every time I start playing it, something happens. I get depressed. I lose my mind. Stuff just happens, and I just can't actually record. But now we're 3 episodes away from finishing this accursed game. This series that I've loved so much. We're almost done with it. Anyways, next time we take on the 4th floor, or the 4th spear as they're calling it now. They're not stages or floors. We're taking on the 4th spear of the Imperial. Stay fresh.